Chapter 2. Plants Adaptations. Adaptations are special features that allow a plant or animal to live in a particular place or habit. Plants grow everywhere, be it plains, in water bodies, deserts, hills, or snow-covered mountain regions. Depending on where they grow, plants can be categorized under different groups. Read more about these groups and classification in this lesson.
Terrestrial plants. Plants that grow on land are called terrestrial plants. The term comes from the word terra, that means land. Terrestrial plants can be further categorized into the following groups. Plants in plains. Trees growing in plains have more space to spread out and grow. They have flat leaves. These help water vapor to evaporate and keep the tree cool when the climate is hot. Flat leaves also help to trap a lot of sunlight. Trees such as peepal, mulberry, neem, gulmohar, sal, poplar, and shisham lose all their leaves at once. As spring approaches, new leaves start growing. In some areas of the plains, the climate is wet and hot. Here the trees do not need to shed all their leaves at once. Evergreen trees such as teak and coconut grow in such areas. In some areas of the plains, it rains all through the year and plants grow all the time. The plains in such places have turned into dense green forests with tall trees. Climbers and creepers are also found in such places. Smaller plants such as sugarcane, cotton, cashew nut and pepper are also found in these areas. Many other plants also grow in plains such as cereals, fruits, vegetables and other crops.
Desert plants.
Deserts are hot, dry places with very scanty rainfall. In such areas, a lot of direct sunlight shines on the plants. The soil is often sandy or rocky and unable to hold much water. So, plants in the desert need to adapt really well in order to grow. Some such adaptations are: some plants, called succulents, store water in their stems or leaves. Some plants have no leaves or small seasonal leaves that only grow after it rains. The lack of leaves helps reduce water loss during photosynthesis. Leafless plants conduct photosynthesis in their green stems. In plants such as cactus and prickly pear, leaves are reduced to spines. This helps to save water and keep animals away. Long roots spread out wide or go deep into the ground to absorb as much water as possible. Waxy coating on stems and leaves help reduce water loss. Plants on mountains. Plants growing up on mountains have to face many challenges, such as cold weather that slows down growth, strong rays of the sun which damages leaves, and soil that is not abundant in nutrients essential for the growth of plants. Some adaptations in plants in such regions are: they grow low to the ground so that they don't get damaged by the harsh mountainous wind. Leaves are often small and tough and are less likely to be damaged by snow or hail. Many trees have needle-like leaves that lose less water and shed snow more easily than broad leaves. Waxy coatings on needles prevent evaporation. Also, needles are dark in color that allows better absorption of solar energy. Leaves have hair that protects them from the cold. Many mountainous trees have branches that droop downward, helping to shed excess snow and prevent the branches from breaking. The long root system of these plants help them find essential nutrients a long way down into the soil.
Plants along sea coasts.
The soils in coastal areas are usually poor in major nutrients, salty and generally lacking in water. Some adaptations in plants growing in these areas are: an increased thickness in the leaves to protect the plant from exposure to the sun and salt spray. The ability to produce very large seeds that get dispersed by the sea water for the growth of new plants.
Swamp trees. In swampy or moisty areas, the soil is very sticky and clay. Plants in these areas do not get enough air through their roots in soil. These plants have special roots out of the soil to breathe and survive. Plants growing here are called mangroves. Aquatic plants. Plants that grow in water are called aquatic plants. These plants can be further divided into the following categories. Floating plants. Floating plants are of two types, those that are rooted with floating leaves, such as the water lily and lotus, and those which are not rooted but just float on the surface, such as the duckweed. Floating leaves are usually sturdy because they have to endure the force of weather and moving water. The green pigment containing chloroplasts, important for photosynthesis, are present on the surface of the leaves that are well lit. Stomata or pores, through which gas exchange takes place in the leaf, are also found only on the upper surface of the leaf. This upper surface often has a thick waxy cuticle to repel water and help to keep the stomata open and clear. Underwater plants. These plants grow completely underwater. They have flexible leaves and stems to move with water currents. Submerged plants lack strong water transport system in stems, so water nutrients and dissolved gases are absorbed through the leaves directly from the water. Their leaves do not have stomata and absorb carbon dioxide and oxygen through their body surface. These plants take carbon dioxide dissolved in water and thus clean the water. They provide food to water birds and fish, but at times they can also grow in vast numbers and pose threat for the environment. Tape grass and pondweed are some underwater plants. Carnivorous or insectivorous plants. Carnivorous or insectivorous plants grow in places with soil that doesn't offer much food. These amazing plants have evolved over thousands of years, developing insect traps to be prepared to meet their nutritional needs. The traps are well disguised in a pitcher plant, which gets its name because they look like beautiful pitchers full of nectar. Hungry insects are tempted to come close to suck the nectar, but slide down the slippery slope to get trapped. Hair-like growths along the pitcher walls ensure that nothing can scramble out. Cobra lilies attract their prey by emitting a sweet smell from inside a hollow leaf shaped like the curled head of a cobra. The green leaves of the Venus flytrap have fine hair along their edges and are divided into two lobes that are connected at the base. If an insect touches two or more of the hair at the same time, the leaf snaps shut. The insect is trapped and slowly digested. What happens to the insect once it's trapped by a carnivorous plant? Most carnivorous plants make their own digestive enzymes. Enzymes are things that help to break food into smaller pieces for easy digestion. Other carnivorous plants depend on bacteria to produce these enzymes. Bacteria make the captured prey to rot and the plant absorbs the nutrients. Non-green plants. Some plants are non-green, which means that they don't have chlorophyll. These plants cannot make their own food. They get their food from dead plants and animals. They are also known as saprophytic plants. Mushroom, Indian pipe, and coral root are some non-green plants. The Indian pipe has a distinct appearance. It is just 4 to 10 inches tall and is waxy, whitish in color. It grows in shady places, on woods and decaying plant matter.